Hi guys, it's Webby. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to introduce you to the brand new 2020 Ford Puma that's just been released here in Australia. Has been out in other countries for about a year or so, but we're lucky enough now to get this here in Australia. It replaces the old Ford Ecosport, which I think is a good move because it was a bit of a slow seller, to be honest, for Ford. But I think this is a bang up to date brand new car with lots of tech and lots of features. Is going to be a really big seller. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the brand new 2020 Ford Puma. So there's three variants in the Puma lineup for 2020. You've got the base model, you've got the ST line, and you've got the ST line V, which is the top of the range. The one we're looking at here today is the base model. So everything you see and everything I talk about is standard on the car. Let's start off with what's under the bonnet. We've got a 1 litre 3-cylinder petrol turbocharged engine. Develops 92 kilowatt and 170 newton meters of torque, and operates through a 7-speed automatic transmission only. So like all cars in the Ford lineup, the new Puma is covered by Ford's 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty. Service intervals are every 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, and the first 4 services are all capped at $299 each. So really cheap running costs. Fuel economy is rated at 5.3 litres per 100 kilometres, so nice and fuel efficient as well, which is really good. Now, standard fitment on the Puma throughout the whole range. You've got some good safety equipment there. You've got autonomous emergency braking, lane keeping aid, traffic sign recognition. There is an optional pack which will give you blind spot monitor, active park assist, front parking sensors, and rear cross traffic alert as well. So that's optional throughout all models. So starting at the front end of the car, all Puma models get LED headlamps with LED daytime running lamps as well. The rear tail lights are LED as well. You can identify each car by its different front grille. This base model has the black grille with the chrome around the outside. Coming around to the side of the car, the base model has these grey plastic grille arches, whereas if you step up to the ST line, these are colour coded, which obviously then transpires up into the ST line V as well. We've got these really nice 16-inch alloy wheels on the base model, so it doesn't actually really feel like a base model car. And then you've got these really nice chrome strips along the bottom of the door as well, which gives it a bit of a premium feel. Another sort of handy little feature is when you lock the car, the door mirrors fold. Again, base model, every model gets that. So that's when you walk away, you know that your doors are locked when your mirrors are folded. Coming around to the back of the car, standard fitment, we've got rear parking sensors. We've also got a reverse camera as well. And as I said a minute ago, on that pack, you can get front parking sensors to go with the back ones. You get this sort of neat little rear spoiler built into the roof line as well, so it gives it a sporty edge. When you go up to the ST line and the ST line V models, the rear spoiler is actually a bit bigger. So whilst we're at the back of the car, I just want to show you in the boot, because for a small car it's absolutely huge. So you lift it up, the rear parcel shelf actually comes away with the tailgate itself, so it's not one of these sort of lift up versions. As you can see, we've got loads of space in the back here. It's actually 410 litres to the top of the seats. We've got this movable section here inside the boot, which gives you different height levels. So I'll show you how this works. But what I want to show you first underneath is a little secret compartment. So this is kind of your boot floor. You then got an extra bit of storage here. But what you can do is lift this up, which shows you where your spare wheel is. But you can actually take the spare wheel out if you want to and create even more space in the boot. So you've got absolutely heaps and heaps of space. I'd imagine if you was into golf, you could probably stand a set of golf clubs up in that section. So we'll put that back. Right way around. Handy little things are things like this secondary boot floor. As you lift it up, these little bits here flick up and keep it in place, so it's not landing on your head when you're trying to get stuff in and out of the boot. But then what you can do with this is, so it's now got a slightly higher setting. So if you've got something that you want to sort of have as a level when you're getting it in and out of the car, that's handy. But it also gives you much more storage space underneath, that if you've got something that's a bit deeper but you want it to be away from prying eyes, then you've got that option as well. So it's actually a really well thought out space and how you're going to use it, because it gives you lots of options of different things you can do with the space underneath the boot. So that's a bit about the outside of the car and a few of the features. Let's have a look inside the car now, and I'll show you the cabin and some more technology inside the car. So coming into the inside of the new Ford Puma, the layout of the dashboard and the centre console is really simple. Everything for the driver is nice and neatly in front of you. You've got the Ford Sync 3 system. Again, I've done another video of that, which I'll pop a link up in the top right hand corner for you to have a look at. That includes sat-nav, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's even got digital radio, even on this base model. So it comes really well equipped. And then just below the Sync 3 system, we've got all the controls for the heating and the air conditioning. And then this button here actually gives you a heated front windscreen. So it's exactly the same as what you get in the back of the car. So it means that on a cold, frosty morning, your windscreen will actually demist a lot quicker using the heated button rather than just the fan itself. And then just below that, we've actually got a section where you can put your phone, which includes wireless charging as well, which is another handy feature. So that's everything inside the front of the car. Let's jump in the back now and I can show you how much space and some of the other features you get in the back of the car. So in the back of the Puma then, what you might have noticed actually getting in the car was the rear door opened really wide, so it made actually getting in the car quite easy. As you can see, I've actually got plenty of leg room, and I can fit my feet under the front driver's seat, which means I can actually stretch out a little bit. That's quite handy if you're going on a longer journey, so passengers in the back can actually stretch out and relax a little bit, rather than sort of being in more of an upright position. As you can see, there's also plenty of headroom here as well. So I'd imagine anyone up to about sort of 6 foot could get fairly comfortable in the back here. So it'd be quite a nice place to be. Now, other safety features we've got in the back of the car is on both side rear seats. You've got the ISOFIX settings for the child seats. So it goes a long way towards making the Puma quite a safe little car. And the good news also that's recently been announced that it's got a 5-star crash rating from NCAP, which is the maximum stars you can get for a brand new car nowadays. So it's good to know that the new Puma has got top marks in that category. So now's the time to take the Puma out for a drive and see what it's really like on the roads. So let's get going. So it might only have a 1 litre 3-cylinder turbocharged engine, but it actually puts the power down really well, and it's quite torquey at low revs. Having 7 speeds on the gearbox helps as well, because obviously it makes the ratios a bit closer together. So every time you change your gear, you're in that optimum sort of power point where you get maximum torque. The ride is fairly firm in the Puma, but it does give you sort of sporty characteristic, unlike some small SUVs that can feel a little bit sort of floaty, and you don't really know what the car's doing. But it does feel sort of quite a sporty car to drive. All round visibility is really good. You've got a huge windscreen. All the side windows give you plenty of opportunities to see traffic and other obstacles that might come your way. So it makes for quite a good sort of driving experience. Another good thing about the Puma is that I think it will actually appeal to people of all age groups. Its styling is quite sort of funky and cute, so it will appeal to the younger people. But because you've got the slightly higher riding position, I think older people will like it as well because it's got easier access and good visibility. So yeah, I think it does a good job of appealing to people of all ages. So heading back to work now to drop the car off, and I thought I'd just go through some of the drive modes that I mentioned earlier in the video. So you've got like your standard mode, you've got economy mode, but the best one I reckon is sport mode. So it sharpens up your throttle response, but it wakes up the steering as well. Oh, that 3-cylinder engine makes a really great noise when it gets up in the higher rev range. Yeah, it's half a V6 basically. But no, it's really cool. I like that. I reckon I'd drive it in sport mode if I had one of these. May use a little bit more fuel, but you know, what the hell. You're going to be having a lot more fun if you're driving in sport mode. Because yeah, it would feel almost like a mini hot hatch SUV, if that makes sense. Ford have always been known for making really good handling cars. They've always been really good at sort of great chassis, great handling. And this car is no different, even though it's like I say, a mini SUV. So yeah, don't be shy of having a bit of fun with it. If I was going to buy one of these, I reckon I'd have the ST Line V, which is the top of the range, just because it's got lots of gadgets and I like the wheels and the B&O sound system. I'd have it with the panoramic sunroof, and I have it in either black or the colour which is called grey matter, which is like a gloss grey, nardo grey sort of finish, which looks really cool. So that's probably what I'd go for. Now, although you might think this is more of like an inner city sort of car, I'm sat on the freeway doing 110, absolutely fine, not too noisy, feels nice and sturdy on the road. So there we have the video for the brand new 2020 Ford Puma. What do you think? I'd love to know your thoughts on the car. I think it's a cracking little thing. I think it's going to really shake up the competition in this sector. There's plenty of competition in the small SUV market nowadays here in Australia. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give the video a like. There's going to be plenty more videos coming this year, including the new Ford Escape, which is just around the corner. So stay subscribed, or be subscribed, hit the notification bell, and you'll find out when the next video goes live. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.